Juan Carlos Osorio has gone from hated to hero among Mexican soccer fans after guiding El Tri to a monumental win against Germany on Sunday, and as much as the 57-year-old may be winning over his Mexican critics, it remains extremely unlikely that he remains Mexico's coach once the World Cup is over. There are sure to be plenty of potential suitors taking notice of Osorio at the World Cup, both clubs and national teams, and with the amount of global praise being heaped on him for his excellent tactical performance in beating Germany, there's no denying that his profile has grown exponentially in a short amount of time. Is the U.S. national team one of those teams taking notice? Newly appointed USMNT General Manager Ernie Stewart hasn't officially started his new job yet, but it's a safe bet he's watching the World Cup and taking notice of what Osorio has been able to do with the Mexican team, in a job that has chewed up and spit out a long list of past coaches. There is a tangible feeling in American soccer circles that the next U.S. coach should be an American, no doubt a sentiment driven at least in part by the Jurgen Klinsmann era, which had to feel to some like a cautionary tale for why a foreign coach isn't necessarily the solution. Stewart insists that it isn't a foregone conclusion that the next U.S. coach will be an American, though his description of what he's looking for in a coach does suggest candidates with strong familiarity with American soccer will have an advantage. Osorio isn't your typical foreign coach though. He came to the United States to attend college and began the formative years of his coaching career working in American soccer. A second stint in the United States saw him coach in MLS. He has strong ties to the United States, where both of his sons were born, and has always seen himself returning to the country at some point in his career. Osorio has made it clear in the past that the U.S. national team job is one that appeals to him. The USMNT gig and the same post with Colombia are high on his list of positions he would be interested in, as would an opportunity in the English Premier League, though a club job in Europe would likely have to wait since all manager positions in Europe's top leagues would presumably be filled before the end of the World Cup. Who else is in the running for the U.S. job? Columbus Crew head coach Greg Berhalter has emerged as the leading candidate among American coaches, while New York Red Bulls coach Jesse Marsch, who has been recently linked to the RB Leipzig job, and Toronto FC's Greg Vanney are standouts. All three men are 44, and none of the three have coached a national team before. Of the three, only Berhalter has coached outside of MLS, with his 2-year stint with Swedish side Hammarby preceding his move to Columbus. If Stewart and U.S. soccer desire a coach who can grow with the next generation of top American talent, someone who could potentially handle 2 cycles, then hiring a young coach like Berhalter, Marsch or Vanney would make sense, as would hiring Tab Ramos, the former U.S. national team star who has coached many of the program's best young talents during his time as under-20 coach. From an experience standpoint, none of the aforementioned Americans match Osorio, who won multiple titles in Colombia, led Atlético Nacional to a Copa Libertadores final, and enjoyed a brief but impressive stint with Brazilian powerhouse São Paulo. He has also experienced a CONCACAF qualifying process, having led Mexico to a first-place finish in the most recent Hex. He has done all that in just the 9 years since leaving MLS in 2009. Something else Osorio has working in his favor is his understanding of the Latino community in the United States. As someone who came to the country as an immigrant from Colombia, spending several years in the New York area, Osorio has a better connection with and understanding of the American Latino than any coach in U.S. national team history. His time as Mexico coach has only helped to develop an even better understanding of a community that has long been underserved and underrepresented in American soccer. Osorio has his detractors in American soccer, to be sure, many who haven't forgotten how badly he struggled in 2009 with the New York Red Bulls in what was easily the worst season of his coaching career. What he has done in the 9 years since that failed year, however, is thoroughly impressive, and his work in that time makes it indisputable that he has improved dramatically as a coach. The win against Germany was historic, but it's just one match, and as much as Osorio's reputation is skyrocketing at the moment, Mexico will need to keep winning if Osorio's stock is going to remain in the rarefied air it sits at now. If Osorio can keep Mexico winning, and make a deep run into the knockout rounds of the World Cup, U.S. Soccer will have no choice but to give him serious consideration for the vacant U.S. job. There will surely be plenty of competition for his services in that scenario, but the USMNT job would be tough for Osorio to turn down.